This video shows how to homologate the CRONOS audio-slalom CAS for competition. The homologation requirements are spelled out in the International Waterski and Wakeboard Federation IWWF Disabled Rule Book, specifically Rule D19.02. Some key points in the video include the explanation of the measuring stick, the explanation of the rope measurements, setting up the rope and measuring stick in the boat, and then lastly the homologation of the CAS. To show you the homologation sticks we're going to be using down at the boat. So we'll start out here in the middle where it's 0, 0, and we're going to be doing all our measurements in centimeters. And so you go starting at 0 and go out towards one direction and go all the way out to where we see we got tapes on our measuring stick, and the tape marks 88.5 centimeters, and then goes and marks again at 91.5 centimeters, with 90 centimeters being right in the middle of the tape. For the rules, we got that much tolerance when we're homologating, so when we get down to the boat, we're going to want it to make its audible sound between the tape lines. Come back to 0 point and then go the other direction and just show that our markings are at 88.5 centimeters and 91.5 centimeters. In this step, we're going to measure the rope that we'll use when we homologate down at the boat. So we're going to start with on the right side of our measuring stick, it's 1 meter or 100 centimeters. And as you come this way, you'll see you get to the 0 point, and then you come out to the right side of our other side of our measuring stick, and it goes out to 182.5 at the longest measuring point. And then at another measuring point we're going to need when we go to the boat is 158.8 centimeters. Okay, in this step, we're going to use the rope we homologated up at the house, which has 158.8, and at the shorter distance, and 182.5 centimeters at its longer distance. So we hook that rope on the pylon, we pull it tight towards the back of the center of the boat, and you see our middle points are at 158.8. Now we're going to go over to point A on the diagram, which would be the passenger side of the boat, and show it at 90 centimeters. So from the pylon, it's 182.5 centimeters to point A. From point A to the middle point is 90 centimeters, and then from middle point back to the pylon is at 158.8. So you got that side measured? Okay, now let's go over to point C on our diagram, which would be the driver's side of the boat. And again, we got ropes on the pylon to that point C is 182.5 centimeters. Then it's 90 centimeters from there back to the center point. From the center point back to here is 158.8. And those are what our measurements need to be once we hook up the CAS, and then make sure everything beeps in the right spots. Okay, in this step, what I want to do is show you my daily pylon mount and how I use it. This is how it will be mounted during all the homologation videos. Center as much left and right as I can, tighten these up. Then the last step is simply come back, open up the little strap here, stick your rope through, come up, and put it on your pylon. Now we're ready to center. In this step, we're ready to homologate the CAS. So first thing we got to do is center it. So I've got the rope pulled tight back to the center of the boat. Wendy will then plug in the handheld and get everything set up and into training mode at 18.25 meters. And the speed won't matter because it's in training mode. It doesn't keep track of time.
Okay, I'm going to set the phone down and plug it in. Okay, it's plugged in. So then you look at your date. If everything's right, you just push OK. And then it says set the 0 line, so you can arrow up or down to change it so it is all zeros. So we're going to arrow down and see if that gets it. Now it's all zeros, so we're going to push OK.
Alright, you heard those 3 beeps. That means we're centered. We're ready to go into the training mode and do the homologation. I'm going to set the rope out here as if the skier's pulled out wide, getting ready for the gate shot. One thing I want to show you before we go back and forth and show where it's beeping is we added tape to our homologation meter sticks. So the inside tape, outermost part is at 88.5 centimeters, and then the outside tape starts at 91.5 centimeters and goes on out. So 90 is right in the middle of there, and so when we homologate it, and we should hear the beep between those tape lines. Let me get out of your way.
Okay, so now I'm gonna set the CAS. So we're gonna go into training mode. So we're gonna arrow down and push OK. We're gonna select Mike as the skier, so press OK. We're gonna select 58K as the speed and 18.25 as the rope length. Now it's ready to arm. So to arm it, you just push, move the rope out, you just push OK.
The first beep you'll hear is when he pulls from the gate shot over to one ball will be the actual entry gate. So it'll be a beep and then there'll be one ball.